Miami recruiting got that spark with the addition of Cam Ward this offseason. You can feel it. We're going to talk Miami recruiting in this video. The momentum is there, and this weekend, so will be the top recruits in the country. Miami will be the center of the recruiting world this weekend. We're going to talk about all the 5 stars that are on campus with Azubi Charles of CaneSport. But first, Miami fans, it's a big visit weekend, and we got you covered all offseason. So do me a favor right now, hit subscribe for me, please. All right, let's bring on Azubi Charles from CaneSport. Azubi, as I said at the top, Cam Ward, that was the addition of the offseason for the Canes. But besides Cam Ward, who's been your favorite transfer portal addition?
So I'm going to head to the opposite side of the ball and go with another guy that's leaving the Evergreen State to head to South Florida, in Washington Huskies safety Michelle Powell. With Miami losing both Cam Kitchens and James Williams to the NFL draft, that safety spot was another position of need that Miami needed to fill, and they did just that with a proven winner, a proven guy with championship, material behind him. Last year finished with 38 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, and 3 interceptions, and played all over that secondary, nickel, safety, cornerback, and some other positions as well. So a versatile guy they're bringing in to fill a big position of need. So Michelle Paul's the guy I'm going with coming out of Washington as well.
All right. Yeah, big moves on both sides of the ball for the Miami Hurricanes in the transfer portal. But right now we're talking 2025 recruiting and look at who Miami has on campus this weekend. Let's start with safety DJ Pickett from Zephyr Hills, Florida, the number 7 overall prospect. Now, DJ just named a top 5 recently that includes Alabama, Georgia, Miami, Michigan, and Oregon. And this is not his first visit to Miami, Azubi. So where do you think DJ Pickett stands amongst that top 5?
I think this is really, really big for Miami, getting one of the most coveted defenders in that 2025 class back to Coral Gables this weekend, a guy that has some ties with Miami with his cousin being Booker Pickett, a 2024 signee. Mm-hmm. So I feel like Miami's standing in a pretty good place right now with DJ Pickett obviously making his return back to, South Florida, a place that he's very familiar with. So a big weekend can do a lot of things for Miami. Having him back on campus, having him around his cousin, having him around people he's very familiar with. So could be a really, really big weekend for the Canes.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys are going to talk to him afterward. Find out when he's ready to decide, because if he's already narrowed his list down to 5, who knows? Maybe we're not too far off from a DJ Pickett announcement, but we'll wait and see what CaneSport has to say after the visit takes place. Now, let's move down the list. Jamie French, fresh off that Bama decommitment. Now, he was in Tallahassee last weekend. That was an important visit. And this weekend, he's in Coral Gables, the number 14 overall prospect. Jamie French out of Jacksonville, Azubi. Where do you think the Canes stand coming off this decommitment from Alabama?
Yeah, since that kind of Alabama fire sale started with the departure of Nick Saban, Miami's been all over Jamie French. The day after he decommitted, Hurricanes wide receiver coach Kevin Beard spent about 2 hours on the phone with him, talking life, football, and everything in between, which really, really stood out to him and kind of made him want to visit Miami even more. So right now, he kind of told me that, hey, I'm not really, in a rush for anything. I just decommitted from this long-time commitment. I'm really just looking to see how things play out. And I feel like Miami's trying to really establish themselves as a team to watch early on. And I think they're doing so with building that strong relationship and getting him on campus this weekend as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's an important time in his recruitment. All the top teams trying to shuffle in for those visits. Like I said, FSU last weekend, Miami this weekend. He's going to have a full tour of visits all spring, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Now, I want to talk about wide receiver Dallas Wilson. Interesting prospect, 6'3", 180, but he's committed to Oregon. He goes to Tampa Bay Tech right there in Florida. So Miami trying to flip him, keep him from going 3,000 miles away to play football, keep him in state, top 50 overall prospect. What are you hearing heading into this one with Miami's chances?
Yeah, so the first time I ever spoke to Wilson about Miami was actually in the summer at the Under Armour Future 50. And he was kind of just telling me, hey, the Hurricanes are on my radar. I'm committed to Oregon, but, you never can overlook the hometown teams and, the Florida team. So that's why Miami's kind of wiggled their way in, has kept, their name alive with, Wilson. And that kind of led to his upcoming visit to Miami. Kevin Beard, another guy that he has his hands all over. And Miami's really making a push to keep one of the top Florida kids in state with Dallas Wilson. So another big-time receiver headed down to South Florida.
All right, last prospect I want to talk to you about is Jayden Perlo. Now, he's committed to Georgia from Buford, Georgia, but there's some rumors he's been looking around, and he has taken a couple visits. So what are you hearing going into this one?
Yeah, another top Canes target committed elsewhere. I talked to Jayden last week, and he's really, really excited to get on campus, despite that long time commitment to the Dogs. Like you said, he said he'll be taking visits throughout the recruitment process, and even told me he's going to likely take an official visit to Miami sometime this summer. So I think Miami's making a really strong push right now with Derek Nicholson leading the way with Jayden. So another guy that, the big weekend could do wonders for Miami. So looking forward to speaking with Jayden after this weekend and kind of seeing where his head's at with everything.
Yeah, see if Miami can kind of loosen up that commitment to Georgia. We'll see. Now, I know it's early, and I know this is the first visit weekend of many, many, many throughout the offseason, but is there anyone that Canes fans need to put on commit watch this weekend?
So that's a really tough question because, like you mentioned, it's really early in the cycle. But I do think this weekend can move the needle with a lot of guys, and that's not an understatement. Some of the guys that we just mentioned, and the other 30 to 40 to 50 big time prospects on campus this weekend. It may only be January, but I feel like this weekend is shaping out to be one of the biggest in the recruiting cycle for the Canes and could have very positive impacts on the rest of the 2025 cycle as well. So going to have our eyes all over this weekend with all these top guys coming in. So we'll have plenty of stuff, on our site later this weekend as well.
Yeah, be sure to go to CaneSport, check it out. Miami fans, let me know, comment section below. Who do you have on commit watch? It might not be one of the 4 guys we highlighted, but like Azubi said, there's 30 prospects going to be on campus. Could be somebody pulling the trigger. Let me know, comment section below. All right, Azubi Charles, thanks for talking a little Miami recruiting today on the Inside Scoop.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.